Luján.
Thank you, Chair Cantwell. Secretary Raimondo, good to see you today. As you mentioned in your opening statement, I want to thank you, recognize the importance of the Minority Business Development Agency, something that was very important to our chair, to the ranking member, passed bipartisanly through the House and through the Senate. And it's great that for the first time in 50 years, we finally have what is now, I hope that will forever will be a permanent Minority Business Development Agency. And earlier this month, we were very pleased that leadership from the Department of Commerce was in Albuquerque, New Mexico to open up our Business Development Center. And so the question that I have is, in this particular space, Secretary, yes or no, do you currently have the funding to launch the Rural Business Center program?
So first, let me say it's great to see you back, healthy and in person. No, if you want the short answer. The money that we're requesting, the $110 million, would be enough to launch the rural business centers, which will be done in partnership with minority-serving institutions. But currently, the FY22 appropriations only gave us half of that and directed us to use the money to expand our existing business centers. So we're going to be, with that money, adding 6 new business centers. But we don't now have the money to do rural, which is why we're asking for it in this appropriation. And the good news, I will tell you, is if we are successful in getting the money we're asking for in this appropriation bill, we've already been doing all of the outreach with the minority-serving institutions, so we'll be ready to hit the ground running to set up the rural centers. I
appreciate that, and I'll do everything I can with my colleagues on the Appropriations Committee and the staff over there to make sure this gets the attention that it deserves. My follow-up there is, in the absence of additional resources for the program, what are you doing to support the minority-owned rural businesses now?
Well, currently we do serve them to the best of our abilities with our existing business centers. And, you know, I think we do a good job of that. But as you know yourself, you need to be present in place in order to really do this work. So we are increasing our efforts to rural America. By the way, MBDA and EDA, we're working very hard with EDA. But the truth of it is we need the money to set up proper rural business centers with minority-serving institutions so we can be in the community and meet the needs of the population.
Appreciate that. Well, I'll work with my colleagues again bipartisanly here, and this is an area of great interest to many of us, so we'll be looking. I hope that once we secure that funding that we're ready to roll and that we're able to take some of that investment and get ready for that as well. Madam Secretary, one area that I've talked to you quite a bit is just with connectivity, and following sort with many of my colleagues that have asked that question today. Will the funding connect every family in New Mexico to affordable, reliable, high-speed broadband that's currently in the bipartisan infrastructure bill, in addition to some of the benefits from funding that was received in 2020 to NTIA?
Yes, that is certainly the plan. The President has been crystal clear with me that anything less than that will be unsatisfactory. We want to get to everyone and, importantly, make sure that it's affordable. And I'm very serious about that because, again, I come from a state where everyone has access to broadband, but if it's $70, $80, $90 a month, it's not, you might as well not have it. You can't afford it. So yes is the answer. We're going to work in the community to make sure there's ubiquity and affordability.
Well, I very much appreciate that this is the plan. The word that I've been given is that if there's not enough funding here, that money will be found to connect our state. And I'll be working with everyone to ensure that we're able to hit that goal. I very much support the plan, but I want to see it done across the country, and especially in hard-to-connect states. In another area, the programs that we've been able to work forward or move forward included funding for 91 full-time jobs to support the broadband program, which Senator Tester talked about. How many of those will be on the grounds in our states to ensure the program works in communities it's intended to serve?
Yeah, the majority will not be in D.C. So I don't know exactly the number out of 91, but the intention is that they not be in D.C., that they be around the country in communities.
I'd like to follow up on that and get some specifics because what's floating around is that none of them will be in the state. And so I think it's important to correct that record. So I look forward to helping you do that as well. So thank you for that clarification.
I can say on the record now, the majority will not be in DC, but we'll get back to you with the details.
I appreciate that. And I don't want to pick on any of my colleagues, but relying solely on states might work in some of the larger ones where they have some of that expertise. And even though it's still considered a hard to connect state, places like California. And, you know, I often compare New Mexico to Rhode Island, reminding everyone that out there, the highest hill is 800 feet. That's my backyard. In areas that we have big mountains and topography challenges where 30% of the land is federal land, it's important to me that we all work with all the partners there. So I have several other questions. I'll submit them into the record, but it's always an honor to see you and your team and very much appreciate working with you. Thank you, Chair Cantwell.
Thank you. Senator Sinema.
Thank you.